What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Wave 24 Nightmare Hardcore Survival Start on Glitterhelm. Now, taking a quick look through my stats here, I'm going to be bringing a Squire for walls, a Huntress for traps, an Apprentice for some DSTs, and a Monk for some auras. Now, you can do it with less stats than this. This is just what I'm at right now. This build was shown to me by Hutter, so hats off to Hutter for the awesome build. I probably won't get it exactly like he had it. However, it's been working for me, so I'm going to keep on doing it. And here it is, Wave 24 Start, Nightmare Hardcore in Glitterhelm. Now, this map it's much easier to do than you would think. In my opinion, it's actually, I think it's a touch easier than doing Summit, and technically it offers slightly better gear. So, you know, this is definitely without a doubt just kind of a go-to giraffe farm and the place you want to be for farming up your giraffes. So we get tons and tons of starting mana since we're starting on wave 24 here. I usually blow all of this first wave mana into the DSTs, just because anytime I have had a problem on this particular map, it has always ended up coming from flyers and the copter ogres. So this is basically going to be our setup on every lane. We got a gas trap, an explosive trap, a strength drain, and an ensnare aura with a blockade. Now, I have seen just a ton of different builds on this map. There's lots of good ones out there, but this is just the one that I've been using. From Hutter, like I mentioned earlier. So, super strong build. We're going to get that exact same setup here, just on every single lane, and that will get us finished out. Now, one of the awesome things about this map is there is some seriously cheeky placements. We all know one of the problems with using towers when there's spiders involved is sometimes your towers will get wrecked. That just is a fact of life. It's going to happen. And this particular map has some just crazy good cheeky placements where we're going to put all of these DSTs to avoid all or most of those spiders. So let's go ahead and get this lane set up as well. And then we're going to put our first DST just right here. So going to bring it off to the side here. My only requirement here is I want it to be hitting the spawn. So it's sometimes easier to hit T and look where you can see the actual line for the side arrow, and I just want that to go right to the edge of the spawn there. Now, as I mentioned, I am going to be pumping most of this starting mana into DSTs, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple of upgrades right there, and then we'll get this last lane built out before we start slinging DSTs just all over the place. And our final lane here, once again, rinse and repeat, explosive, poison, gas, strength drain, and ensnare aura. Now, the strength drain and snare aura combo is just absolutely incredible for ogres, as, you know, obviously they're going to be hitting for less damage with the strength drain. In addition to that, the ensnare is going to slow their attacks down. Now, on this DST, I usually bring the left corner just right to where that little post is right here. That way, any spiders that run back here will get hit as well. And, as I mentioned earlier, we are just pumping the leftover mana into the DSTs. Now, let's get the rest of these placements down, and these are where the fun placements begin, as just great spots that are 100% spider-proof, no doubt. Now, this particular DST, the left side, I want it to be covering the left side of the bridge. So anything that goes down to that core down there, I want this DST to be able to hit. And then we can go with another one right here doing the exact same thing. So the left side of the DST just to the core there, just to make sure we get some coverage. We'll pop another one right up here, and this one we're going to just make sure it's covering this entrance right here, but we do want this DST to be shooting at flyers out there as well. And now to cover our closest entrance here, we can go way up top onto that crystal there. And once again, the edge just at the spawn. Oops, I lost it. We're going to put the edge right at the spawn. That way we get a little bit of flyer coverage out of this DST as well. And let's pop it down just about like that. And then we've got 4 more left to go. So we're going to go 1 on this crystal. That's going to cover the ground lane and the flyer lane. 1 on that crystal that is just purely for flyers. And we'll pump a nice bit of juice into those as well. And then we've got 2 right up top here. Once again, we're going on those little crystal edges, as you can just park a DST right up top. Now these 2 DSTs are 100% for flyer coverage and just last resort. If anything walks down and decides to hit that crystal, we will have that covered. So there we go. We've got 6,000 left. So that's going to allow me to get a few upgrades on all of these. Let's see, that takes me to 4,200. Let's go ahead and hit these one more time as well and just get them fully jacked up. And then the last 1,000 we'll just dump into this. Now, another benefit about this build is it's very chillax. You don't have to work too hard. If you want to run around in DPS, you can. However, you don't have to, and you can just kick it up here. And this is a safe spot from spiders as well. And it'll give you a nice overview of the map and see what's going on these flyer lanes. So just going to let them burn down here. The DSTs are just going to pluck them off one at a time. And then, of course, that explosive trap and gas trap at each spawn is just creating all kinds of problems for those baddies. Now, you see the copter ogres coming in. They're going to get taken out pretty far out there where it's, I mean, they were right at the rail there. So tons of room for those copter ogres to go before they're going to make it in. Give a little extra something here. The only thing I noticed with doing just this, and as I mentioned, this is not, or possibly is not, an exact duplicate of the build Hunter showed. I did it by memory, and this build was just working, so I stuck with this one. However, every now and then there will be a couple of spiders at the end of the waves that are aggroed to the towers. Here comes one now, but they don't actually hit the towers, so depending on where they come and line up at the crystal, there may be just a couple of spiders down there that need to be dealt with right at the end of the wave. See what we're about, we're past a third of the way. We're coming up on that halfway mark, a couple hundred more mobs here, and we'll be able to go around and get some nice upgrades in. Now basically all of this mana that's dropping, I'm going to use that to upgrade everything that needs to be repaired. So every explosive trap, every strength drain, or every wall is going to get upgraded. And then anything that's left over, I'll just pump right into the DSTs once again, just to make sure they handle business. Now, this particular setup on that far lane there, where you see the flyers are coming in now, on wave 25, periodically the flyers will get a little uncomfortably close there. So you do want to keep an eye on that one. If you wanted to, you could always lose one of those DSTs that are up top and go with like a darkness trap and an inferno right there at that core, and then you wouldn't have to worry about those flyers at all, and you could just kind of chillax it out. So we see we've got an ogre up here. No big deal. As long as the ogre dies before the wall does, then it's going to be a win. And it looks like that DST is on point now and getting a little ogre damage in. So that guy should burn pretty darn quickly. No doubt there. Little extra help. And just 90 mobs left. So you see the traps and stuff got pretty low. It's not a bad idea to throw 1 or 2 upgrades right as you build it onto those that explosive trap mainly. However, depending on what your defense health is at, you may not have to. So I'm going to dump that right there. Let's grab all that's here. Let's hit the explosive trap, the strength drain, and the wall. We'll do the exact same thing over here and see how we do in wave 25. Like I mentioned, every now and then the flyers will get a little uppity on this lane. It hasn't been enough of a bother where I've been losing maps, but if you chose to, you would want to go ahead and throw that Darkness and Inferno trap just right here where I'm standing, and that is going to handle those flyers 100%. So let's go through and get the rest of our upgrades in. I'm saving all this extra mana because I'm just going to pump it into the DSTs. But, you know, this wall needs love. That explosive, I'll just hit both of those just for good measure. And then this particular lane, I don't want to run up to this lane. No matter what happens, I just don't want to come over here. So I'm going to hit all of that stuff once, and then I'm going to pump this DST all the way up to full there. And that lane should be more than covered now. Same thing over here on this far lane. Any excess mana is going to go directly into that DST over there, as I just don't want to have to run over there, even if it's an emergency. Just don't want to do it. So let's see, we're going to need, what, a wall upgrade and a trap upgrade, definitely a strength drain. We'll just hit all this stuff just to be safe. That leaves 2,800, that's pretty good, and we can get that last upgrade on that DST. And then we got 1,600 left over. So you can do with it what you want. If you had trouble with your aura health or your trap health, where you maybe had to run over and repair mid-wave through wave 24, then I would go ahead and suggest spending the rest of this mana and just throwing it onto another trap. However, I am just going to go ahead and get the wave started and kind of just chillax it out and watch things unroll here. Now, one of the benefits about this map is not only is it going to drop the best potential Nightmare Hardcore gear, it is also going to be the best potential Giraffe on a Treadmill drop. And until we get Massacre Survival, this is going to be the map you're going to want to farm to get your Giraffes. Copter's still going down super fast out there. You're just getting burned. Let's keep an eye on the flyers over here, though. As I mentioned, towards the end of the wave, they could get a little uppity. So let's watch them. It looks like the DSTs are on point right at the moment, so they are wrecking them up for sure. Looking good, looking good. This Jin that comes out of this lane does a little confusion dance there before he eventually will get wrecked. But as soon as he comes out and tries to, you know, either buff a Gobu or steal one of my traps or auras, the DST will engage then. Lots of little spiders dropping around. And once again, we are at that 1,000 mobs mark, so we're coming up on the halfway point. And so far, I don't see anything lighting up that is in need of repair. So we're looking pretty good. It's just going to be all about that flyer lane right there. So want to hopefully just watch all these flyers die. However, you can see they are already pushing in. Go DSTs. The DSTs should start engaging pretty soon. Oh, they are on top of it, finally. Wow. It seemed like this flyer's got a little uncomfortably close, but the DST did good. And the whole time I didn't even realize we got an ogre right down here below us, just getting pwned right in the face with that DST I'm standing on. So, GG to ogres. That is for sure. This many DSTs around the map, ogres are just not going to be a problem for you. That's just how it is. And 100 mobs left. Now, don't forget, before you loot the chest, make sure you switch over to the hero that you're looking for a weapon for, as it will increase your chances of getting a weapon for that hero. Now, I'm looking for a new staff right now anyway, so this works out perfect, as I am going to be able to hopefully get myself a shiny staff right here. And legendary, no good staffs, and no good on the giraffe either. Boo. Anyway, there is a Wave 24 start in Glitterhelm Nightmare Hardcore Survival. Thanks again to Hutter for showing me this build, as it just wrecks it. Thanks again. I'll see you all next time. Take it easy.